This video's made for adult collectors because, oh boy, 30 centimeters of snow. Hey, yay. Okay, so what are you doing here? Get out of here. Your movie doesn't exist. So with these things, right, they're deluxes and they're cool. I was expecting them to be simple, right? And the Starscream's kind of simple, but like you get the instructions out and then you open it up and I'm struggling to open it up. It's like, oh my goodness gracious. There's, granted, half of Starscream is just putting him together, but Optimus is like, good lord. Timelines returns with its weird way of releasing things, as we already have Prime and Starscream, but no pre-orders for Megatron and B yet. I think it'll probably be like last year where they just come out at San Diego Comic-Con and then are available online afterwards. This also shipped super early. It wasn't supposed to be here till April, but that Hasbro Pulse sent it out, I guess. But anyways, they go to feudal Japan this time and give us a 2-pack that, unlike last year, has 2 great figures in it. Last year, the Prime and Starscream were neat, but had issues. I liked the Prime a lot more than the Starscream, but here, I think these two pretty much nail it on equal footing. They are really good. I dig the way this Starscream looks. Part of me does wish he wasn't something flying. One of the things I would like to see in Timelines is alt modes that are out there for the characters, like a train or an ox for Optimus and a flying. I actually don't know what this is. Could someone please tell me for Bumblebee? A Warthog for Megatron, but Starscream is still a flying thing. It would have been neat if he was something else. It's not a complaint, more so just something I'd like to see them do in the future. That being said though, I still really like this thing. I enjoy how the cockpit area just looks like folds in clothing and how the laser guns are historic rifles. The plastic on Starscream also feels great too. It's dense and thick. Actually, it actually feels better than Prime's, who's in the same pack. Not to say that Prime's is bad, it's just Starscream's is nicer. Oh, also, the box. Look at this box. They nailed it again with the Timelines packaging, but this time I think it looks even nicer. Everything is embossed on all 4 sides, like it feels great in the hand, and the opening box on the inside is epic. They even printed hinges on the side. Like, as an unboxing experience, this thing, it feels exclusive and slightly premium. Back to the toys though, Starscream is cool. His tail can be used as like a fan weapon. Optimus, oh man. The main thing I wanted from this box, and the coolest part of this box. I love the way they did all the sculpted lines and the segments of the armor, especially in the chest and the grill. Yeah, he has the truck bits on his chest, even though he doesn't have a truck mode, but I don't know, here it just kind of works with all this detail on it. I love the massive shoulder armor pieces with the Autobot symbols. He comes with a Naginata, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, I apologize, with a gold blade, and he wields it well. He just looks great. Part of me does wish they went for a slightly darker shade of gray though on this guy, but well. I got way too distracted posting photos of this on Instagram rather than shooting the articulation segment. But these things are a lot of fun. Optimus more than Starscream, because Starscream has a couple of weird things going on in the hips that kind of limit his articulation slightly, and his feet are a bit weird. So we'll start with him. Starscream's head is on a ball joint. You don't get any tilt. Like, there's no tilt at all there, but you do get rotation, and he can look up that far. Also, this joint doesn't peg in anywhere. It's not like it comes apart at all, it just doesn't peg in, so you can use it as like an extra upward motion if you want. It just sticks the chest out a little bit. The wings can flap and swivel. They can pretty much go wherever you want. The shoulders, they can do a full 360 degrees. They can go out full T with these things on because of the way that they've sculpted it here. It doesn't get in the way. I like that. He does have an elbow swivel, which is above the elbow. You get a 90-degree bend at the elbow, and then you have this transformation hinge if you want a double bend at the elbow, and then you get a wrist swivel too, which is awesome. He does have a waist joint, and because of transformation doesn't have an ab crunch, which is great. Now the hips, you see these pegs right here? They're supposed to peg into here for the alt mode, which that means the leg goes forward that far, but when you do it, the waist doesn't rotate because it's locked the hip in place. So technically the hips only go forward about that far, so you can activate the waist. If you can't go any further than that here, and if you're straight, if you go any further than that, it locks the waist in. That's just an unfortunate side effect of the engineering. But they go forward, they go back, they go in and out. You have thigh rotation. You have a single jointed knee that bends all the way. You can use this joint here if you want the foot to go forward, but the foot is on a ball joint. It does wiggle a little bit and tilt a little bit, but I wish it could tilt a little, just a wee bit more than that. That I think is it's not great tilt wise. Oh, and then the tail can move up and down, and it can rotate because it's on a 5mm peg. But yeah, Starscream's articulation is fine. It's fun up here. Down here, it's a little bit of a mess. Optimus though, oh my goodness, this thing is awesome. So the head can rotate. It can do a full 360. It's on a mushroom peg. He can't really look up or down because of the mushroom peg. However, because of the transformation hinge, he can look up that far, and he can't really look down, but he can go up, which is nice. These shoulders, they can do a full 360. These shoulder pads are on double hinges that move out of the way. The shoulders can do a full T. He has a bicep rotation, single jointed elbow that bends more than 90 degrees, and then a wrist rotation, and the wrist can flick in and out. He does have a waist joint. The hip skirt is one solid piece, and the hips, look at the way that they're shaped. They're shaped weird. They stick out a lot here because of the way that this transforms. That's the ox leg hidden in there. So it looks a bit strange. However, with that said, you can still get the leg to go out all the way because look, they've cut into here. They've sculpted such a thing in there to allow for the hip to go all the way forward. That's pretty cool. However, if you have the hip rotated this way, it only goes out about that far. But forward, it goes out. It's like Starscream, but the hip can't go out that far and back that far. You have an above the knee swivel. You have over 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and then you have a crazy ankle tilt. So crazy, it locks into place. But yeah, Prime is just, he's just been so much fun to pose. I love, this is my favorite deluxe so far of this year. It's been so much fun. I really like these two a lot. They pose great and they look great. I think they make a better pairing of figures over the previous 2-pack of these two goobers. Their transformations they are interesting. Like the last 2-pack Starscream was pretty easy while Prime was weird. Starscream here though is a new mold over Airraiser. It doesn't share any parts, but there is some similar engineering with that figure, which kind of makes sense. How else are you gonna do a bird? So yeah, he may share some engineering with a previous figure, but this thing is just insane. So we'll do the, he just kind of died. He fell. This thing is very cool, and you don't have to take the guns off. They can stay on, which I like. So to start with, we're just gonna straighten the wings out and flare them out here. We're going to take the legs, we're going to rotate the feet 180 degrees, and then you want to bring the legs up and peg them into place into the hips on both sides, and then just sort of accordion them down to form bird legs. That's pretty much the lower body done. Now we're going to take this back flap here and open this up and rotate this entire head assembly 180 degrees and then bring the bird head out. Now, one thing to note, you kind of have to pull on the beak to get it out of here, and the beak is sharp. It's not exactly like the friendliest thing in the world on your fingers. You close that up. And then you want to take this entire top section here and bring it down on that ab crunch. Now the arms, you want to take the rifles and rotate them 180 degrees forward. And then you take the arms and you shift them back. They're on a hinge in here. So you bring them back and in, and then you double bend the arms up, and that tucks the hands away and exposes this piece, which pegs into the butt to secure the entire waist in place. Get this situated, close that up, bring the tail fin down, bring the wings down. And there you have your extremely tall bird. Apparently they were gonna make a crane before they decided to do this, and like he's tall enough, I guess. If you hear a low rumble, it's because someone is using a snowblower outside. We got like 30 centimeters of snow, and after work, which is this, I have to go in, shovel the driveway. So Optimus, we're gonna take this off. This is nuts, because he incorporates both the truck and the trailer into a deluxe. That's cool. That's really cool. Open up the shoulders on both sides. They do latch in quite securely. And then bring this entire assembly down and just flick the arms back here. Then we're going to open up these two panels and fold up the head. That'll reveal the bull head or ox head. You fold that up and close it, and then you bring the ox legs down and just leave them there like that. Now we are going to work on the legs. So you want to rotate the waist 180 degrees. You want to take this tab section here and you want to flip it out. Then you want to rotate the feet into place like so, and they will clip in. Then you take these panels and you bring them down. And you want to bend the knees ever so slightly, because there's a tab here and a slot on this that is going to meet. So once you get that sorted, you want to bring these legs forward, but then bend them at this hinge so that the ox leg comes out. And the ox leg will tab into the crotch, and then the feet will peg together and the legs will peg together. This just took a dive off the desk next to me. So once you have that done, we're going to then work on the arms. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to see these gaps right here. You want this to be oriented this way, because there's this little tab right here. So this goes up, you open this section up like that, and you accordion this in, and it will sit flush with the arm there. Then you take the hand and you fold the hand in, you rotate the arm 180 degrees, and you peg it into the side of the cart slash trailer piece. Now you want to come up here and you want to stick this together. And you want to make sure that this, because you see how this is on a slight angle, you want to make sure that everything is nice and lined up properly, otherwise it won't fit. This is the annoying part. This has a lot of weird fit, not issues, but caveats to it. So once you get this entire assembly done, it's going to peg into here, right? There's two pegs. And then it's going to peg, these two pegs right here are going to peg into the feet. Now, the first time I did this, it fit fine. And then the second and third time, it wouldn't fit. And I was so confused because there are 2 tabs right here that have to go into really hidden ports right there and there behind the wheels, which is very easy to miss. So you want to get, oh, and then these have to peg into the legs. Basically, this entire thing holds it all together. So you want to bring this down and get this all situated. And then you want to line up the inner tabs first by the wheels while simultaneously getting the feet pegged into the hands. And once you get all that sorted, wow, I did that. That actually worked quite well. Normally that takes a little bit of futzing to do, but there you have the oxen cart. It's so, other than like getting that pegged in, it's so neat. It's so unique. I really like this, and I want them to do a lot more of this in the future. What an interesting ass alt mode for an Optimus Prime. Starscream first though. I like everything about this bird mode, save for the legs. They stick out a lot. Like a lot. It's the only visual thing I don't like on this. I think they look terrible. Everything else is great. The head sculpt, I think, is the best bird head sculpt we've gotten in a while. And the razor feathers and tail look crisp. I also like the boosters on the back. That's a nice touch. And the guns can hang out on the side. Prime, though, as I said before, this is so unique. They made the truck trailer thing work really well in this setting. I love how it's all integrated into the same figure, and it all came from a deluxe. A friggin' deluxe? The Ox is small and less intimidating next to Starscream, but on its own, it's pretty sweet. I like the sculpt of the Ox with the horns and the hooves. The cart is cool too, though he has some exposed robot bits throughout, like the thighs underneath and the hands on the back, which is a little bit of an eyesore, but I still like the roof, windows, and the paneling in the red section on the back. And the wheels are cool. He rolls pretty damn well too for only having 2 wheels. Unlike Starscream, the weapons don't store super gracefully. They just plug on top. The weapon does split in half, so you can put it in his hands, but I do wish the blade could store like in reverse on the top, and the stick could go in the inside and sit there or underneath or something. Well, still a really nice alt mode. I very much enjoy this 2-pack. Hopefully it becomes part of one of them pulse sales, because while this is cool, it's a wee bit on the expensive side, but it is definitely the best of the Timelines pack so far, in my opinion. I really want that Megatron and Bumblebee to come out soon, because that Megatron looks so nice. But that's been my look at the new Timelines Optimus and Starscream 2-pack. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.